For the next 18 years, I never talked about abortion. I never spoke the word abortion unless the medical situation demanded it. Only my husband and my doctor knew, and only once in those 18 years did my husband and I ever discuss it. About but abortion was not safely locked up. Always during those years there was something hanging over my life. It felt like a darkness, a nameless, shapeless shadow that I could not identify and of which I could not rid myself. I kept very busy, always had somewhere to go, something to do to avoid being home alone. At home alone I would feel the darkness. I would try rearranging the furniture or changing my routines, and I never worked any place more than a couple years before moving on, always trying to fix whatever was broken. I just didn't know what was broken. In all my busyness, I never made close friends. I couldn't let people get too close to me for fear they'd find out the truth about me. As God has drawn me closer to himself over the last few years, he gave me a friend who has loved me very deeply. As she worked in a crisis pregnancy center, she talked about abortion frequently. She was the first person I ever told that I had an abortion, and even when she learned the truth, she still loved me. She took me to a counselor, guided me through a healing program, and one day that counselor asked me some questions that proved a turning point in my life. She asked me, "Do you believe that God forgives you?" And I said, "Yes, I believe that." And then she asked me, "Are you living in that forgiveness?" And that day I couldn't answer that question yes. I answered it no. I was living in a hell of self-condemnation. But today I can say, yes, I'm living in God's forgiveness. Romans 8:1 says, "There is now, therefore, no condemnation for those who are living in Christ Jesus." That includes self-condemnation. His forgiveness allows me the freedom to forgive myself and those involved in my abortion. Living in his forgiveness has lifted the darkness from my life, my home, and my family. There are days now when I'm home alone and I sit quietly and take delight in the absence of darkness. I am silent no more for the women in our midst every day who cannot yet say, "I regret my abortion." I am silent no more to offer you hope. Whatever God has done for me, he can do that much for you. And as Georgette was mentioning about relationships, I'm still, my husband and I are still together. He's not here with me today as our marriage is a work in progress, but someday.